everything you say can and
will be used
against you in the court of
Yep.
law.
Yep.
Why would you want to speak?
And you have to remember, everything's being recorded.
Yes, everything's being recorded. Well, the last thing I would ever think of doing when I'm questioning somebody is putting something up their butt.
This is the question you guys ask me the most. What's the Fifth, and why do I keep telling you to invoke it? It's the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. To put it simply, it means legally you never have to tell on yourself. Your words can be used against you in court, so invoke the Fifth to stay silent with the cops instead. And you do have to invoke it to use it. So to stay protected, say something along the lines of, I invoke the Fifth. Then stop talking until you speak with a lawyer. Especially if you're innocent. Don't let the cops and courts use your words to pin you for a crime you didn't commit. It happens more than you think. Keep asking legal questions in the comments.
I'm going to have to invoke the Fifth when I talk to my wife sometimes, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I will too.
Save a lot of stress and drama, dude. I invoke the Fifth, babe. Slap!
And then you'll just start talking.
Yeah.
And you get hit for no reason.
Yeah. The Fifth is a very important amendment, man.
I've tried not to talk, and then I talk too much anyway.
Right?
So can't not talk.
The Fifth is a very important amendment.
Fifth is very important.
But you have to invoke it.
Yes. So if something happens to you, you get, let's say you
criminally charged.
Criminally charged, right. You are under arrest.
Yep.
Which, I don't know, in other cities, counties, whatever, in Metro land here in Vegas, we will tell you you're under arrest.
You should have your Miranda rights.
Right. After you hear you're under arrest, you should hear, I'm going to tell you your rights. That's what they're
if he hasn't requested.
Yeah, if he hasn't requested. Then all you have to do is say, I would like a lawyer. Mm-hmm. And they cannot, or I invoke the Fifth. I would just say, I would like my lawyer, please.
Yeah.
At that point,
all questions should stop.
All questions stop. Pertaining to the crime.
Right.
Your charges. So, I mean, if
he's asking you, hey, you know, is this correct address? You can answer him if you choose to, because it's not incriminating.
Right.
But you don't have to.
Right. But if he's asking what flavor Slurpee you like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's not pertaining to the case.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you hurt somebody with a Slurpee or killed somebody with a Slurpee or something.
Yeah.
So Fifth is very important. And I would always say, ask for a lawyer. 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Don't talk.
Yep.
Everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
Yep.
Why would you want to speak?
And you have to remember, everything's being recorded.
Yes, everything's being recorded. So, you know what they can use is, in the police world, we have a thing called
ruses?
No, excited utterance.
Yeah.
So an excited utterance, meaning you are so
amped up
about what just happened, or maybe let's just say you murdered somebody, and you're like, well, I only shot him 3 times, not 5. I didn't shoot him 6 times. I shot him 17.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're going to use that. They can use that.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not saying go murder anybody.
Be careful what you say.
Be careful what you say. I would just, anybody at any time, if you get charged with a crime, and invoke your Fifth Amendment.
This is not just for criminals. It's just for everybody.
Yeah.
Be careful what you say.
Yeah. It won't make you look guilty.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
It will not make you look guilty.
It'll make you look smart.
It'll make you look good. Trust me.
Yeah.
So if you get in trouble,
and your attorney would love you for it.
Yes. Yes. Hopefully nobody gets in trouble for anything.
The Fifth Amendment grants you the right to have counsel in any kind of criminal proceeding. Therefore, if an officer approaches you and conducts a criminal investigation by asking you questions, you have a right to an attorney, and you do not have to answer those questions.
For a criminal investigation.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And the same thing with your Miranda rights. You have the presence for an attorney.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah. The Sixth Amendment is more case specific.
Mm-hmm.
It's case specific.
Yeah.
So if you're arrested for one thing, they can't ask you about that thing. What if he starts talking to you about something that's pending on you or something? So that protects you from that. They can't, you know what I mean? But the Sixth is really case specific.
Interesting.
The Seventh Amendment, added to our Constitution in 1791, strikes at the very heart of what our founders sought: protection of the people by the people. It reads, In suits at common law, where the value of controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. This seemingly simple decree guarantees us as citizens a right that is absolutely pivotal to our preservation of freedoms, the right to a trial by jury. To fully understand the implications of this amendment, it is important to note that it applies only to civil court cases, which, unlike criminal cases, occur in tension between two private individuals or organizations. The founders sought the addition of this amendment because they understood the dangers posed by a biased legal system. In fact, this concern was one of the main motivating factors of the revolution. When the government is left unchecked by its own citizens, it inevitably rules in its own favor.
What the hell did she say?
I'm laughing at Steve because he's laughing at my chair. No, it's the seat. No. You never know what's going to happen here, Gonzo. She's saying you have a right to a trial by jury.
Yeah.
But
it's only civil.
By the people.
But it's only for civil.
Well, you still have a jury trial.
Yeah, but it's more based on...
Well, civil, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But it also leans over to criminal.
Yeah.
Because you still have a jury.
Yeah.
So, but that's good because you're judged by your peers.
Well, look at the third world countries where they don't have
well
that kind of system, man.
Yeah,
They're getting whacked all over the place. And
they just kill you over there, I guess.
You're guilty.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Cut your hands off, or if you're stealing or some stuff, they still do. They do some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
I think they still burn people over there.
That's crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
The following is a summary of the Eighth Amendment and criminal punishment, with an emphasis on the rights of the accused. The Eighth Amendment is an important restraint on the government's ability to cause harm to individuals, whether economically through an excessive bail or fine, or physically. If we didn't have the Eighth Amendment in place, people would be killed and tortured unfairly in relation to the crime they had committed. The Eighth Amendment of the Constitution states, "Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted."
See?
The court, on a 5-4 vote, held that the execution of criminals for crimes committed when they were under 18 years of age offended evolving standards of decency, and hence constituted cruel and unusual punishment, in violation of the Eighth Amendment.
Listen, for me, I think if a guy gets charged with murder, a couple of people, 3 or 4 people, he shouldn't be able to bail out, right? Or
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Have the opportunity to get out of jail for any reason.
I agree. But
of course, he's not going to bail out for murder, but still, you know what I'm saying?
No, but, well, it's not true. People have gotten bailed out for murder, haven't they? Nowadays.
Yeah.
Isn't bail racist? I don't know. That's what I heard. Bail is racist, so you can't even put bail on anybody anymore.
But wasn't there a case back east where some guy got...
That's what I was going to say. The perfect example of a violation of the Eighth Amendment.
Cruel and unusual punishment.
Cruel and unusual punishment was in New York. Police officers had a gentleman in custody at the hospital, and I don't know if I think they were trying to get him to confess that he committed a crime. Don't know what crime it was. Don't know why he was at the hospital, but I'm assuming he was injured. And they took a plunger, not the fat part of the plunger, the pole part of the plunger, and put it up his rectum.
Yeah, dang.
To get him to confess. And it's not like they just put it in there and let it sit there. So
wow.
They put it in and out multiple times.
Wow.
To say that.
Wow.
And to get him to confess. And he ended up getting paid like, gosh, 8, 10 million, 15 million. He got a lot. And this was back
sodomized with a stick.
He got sodomized with a stick. Yeah, this was I think maybe early 2000s or something. I don't know. I just remember because I remember thinking I was a cop during it, and I was like, well, the last thing I would ever think of doing when I'm questioning somebody is putting something up their butt.
Why would they even do that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what in your right mind? Who in their right mind would be like, you know what? Hey, sir, where were you that night? And what happened? Excuse, bend over for me, please.
Yeah. Do you remember when we had
to get that plunger over here?
When we had to use the what was that? When we put handcuffs on people, we had to fill out that form because it was
stupid form, yeah. And then everybody stopped handcuffing everybody.
Yeah,
because they didn't want to do the form
for pursuit, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah. I can see in the public eye some of that stuff could be construed as cruel, unusual punishment, but you can't stop being a cop. But that kind
cruel
of
and unusual
crazy,
punishment is not necessary. It's not really just for us, the police. Yeah. That's more for the prisons when you're incarcerated. You can't
for like the COs or for actual prisoners on prisoner.
Everybody. So you can't have a prisoner. Detectives go in and interview somebody who's in jail. Maybe he's got information on somebody and they waterboard him until they get the info. Can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it protects everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're a lawyer or a suspect or a prisoner or a victim. It protects everybody. No cruel and unusual punishment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
feel me?
I do, but I don't.
You feel what I'm putting out there?
Yeah, I get it.
You know?
What makes a just law? This question is at the heart of the Ninth Amendment. Passed in 1791, it is one of the most important parts of the Bill of Rights. It reads, "The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people." The founders were not naive. They knew that legal systems are not stagnant. As times change, so too do the people's needs. And this means that Congress will inevitably have to pass new laws. But the founders justly feared that without proper guidance, Congress would pass modernized legislation that did not respect the freedoms and liberties of American citizens. The Ninth Amendment guaranteed that the spirit of liberty and self-governance would be preserved in all future legislation, and that Congress could not, at any point, violate the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that were already guaranteed to all citizens.
Break it down for me. Break it down for me.
I see. I have a problem because Congress seems to be almost violating people's rights on the whole January 6th thing.
Yeah.
So that amendment, I mean, I don't know. You do have the right to life, pursuit, and happiness.
But now these days, it almost comes as a cost, man.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know. It's a weird one. But the fact that they're really trying to state the government can't interfere with your right to your freedoms, in your pursuit of happiness. And you can live any way you want. You can do whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. But I don't know, man. Congress nowadays, I'm just saying,
they're overstepping.
They're
trying to rewrite the Constitution.
I think I think they want the Constitution.
Our forefathers had the foresight to write it in such a way that it could expand and grow as we expand and grow.
They knew it. That's why the Second Amendment's in there, because if Congress and everybody once decides that they want to go to war with Texas or wherever, we can defend ourselves. And that might actually happen. That might actually happen. Texas is a perfect example. So that one there, the Congress has me worried. That's it.
The 10th Amendment says that the states and the people have all the powers that are not delegated by the Constitution to the federal government or specifically prohibited to the states. That is, the federal government has certain powers and the states are forbidden by the Constitution from doing certain things, but all other powers belong to the states and the people.
Right. So the federal government can help out with emergencies, hurricanes, natural disasters. Yeah, do government stuff. The government has turned into a 10 million headed beast.
Yeah.
It got way too big, way too fast. Yeah. And they have their hands in everything. The government, you don't want the government in your life. The government should be
in the background.
You shouldn't even worry about the government. Just like the police shouldn't worry about them either. You rarely see us.
But it's almost you can't do anything or hear anything without hearing the word government in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But that's
a struggle that's happening in Texas right now.
Right. And this is a perfect example of that, because the governor of Texas is like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Yeah, this is my state. I'm securing my borders to protect my people. Yeah. If you don't like it,
and he has every right to do it.
Yeah. He has every right.
And the government shouldn't be able to interfere with that.
If Biden declares or brings in the National Guard, that's going to be disastrous.
Well, they're there. They're there.
No, I mean, if he almost declares war, that's going to be horrible.
Yeah.
That's going to be really bad. But the 10th Amendment protects the governor and the people.
Yep.
They have a right to defend their land for their freedom in pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
You don't have to just let people onto your land. You don't have to do that.
Well, DeSantis is kind of doing the same thing there in Florida.
You should.
Yeah, so.
Every state should. Look, walls work. I'm sorry. But a country without borders is not going to be a country.
It's like Germany without wall. But they finally took it down, though. But anyway.
Go sneak into someplace else.
Yeah.
See what happens to you.
Yeah.
Go over to Iran. Sneak in there. Sneak into Syria. Sneak into any country. See what happens to you.
Yeah.
Go and sneak into China. Sneak into Russia. See what happens to you.
North Korea.
You think they're going to? I'm a political refugee or asylum.
Straight to prison, son. You're going to be labeled as a spy.
What are they claiming here? Asylum. They'll kill you.
Well, hopefully you guys learn a little bit from the 10th Amendment that we put together here.
So, in a nutshell, when it all comes down to it, you really want to cooperate with the police if you can. That's really what it comes down to. It's being courteous, being polite, keeping yourself professional, acting like an adult. That's really what it comes down to. Now, obviously, knowing your rights, again, with this video explains a lot of things that you should know. Absolutely. But if you're driving a vehicle and you get pulled over by the cops, show them your ID. Don't argue with the guy. Don't show them your driver's license. Don't argue. If you're walking down the street and a cop says, "Hey, come here, I want to talk to you," you can say, "No." Keep on walking. You know what I mean? But there's a slippery slope if you don't know, if he doesn't know if he has a reasonable suspicion or probable cause, he doesn't know what you're doing, or you might match a description of a suspect that just committed a crime, which has happened. It's happened a lot. I've grabbed people and I'm like, "Hey man, you match the description of a suspect, just committed a crime, blah blah blah. I'm going to detain you for a second. Yeah, you're not under arrest, just being detained. Do the one-on-one. Boom, boom, boom. It's not him. See, sir, you're free to go." Yeah. So sometimes it's always best to just go with the flow and win in the end by the laws, the courts, and then you'll get paid.
At the end of the day, treat people how you want to be treated, right? The golden rule, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's not hard. It's not hard. I agree. All right, no donuts. Well, you know what? Let's give our Constitution 12 donuts.
Without it, would be a fucking hellhole.
We wouldn't even be here.
Yeah. Yep. 12 donuts.
U.S. Constitution.
Yep.
12 donuts.
Yep. Yep.
If you have any comments, leave them below. Ask us at ask@LVCopsTV. We'll hit you back right here.
We need to get back to the questions. We got a lot of questions on our ask. We got to get back to.
Talk to the producer.
No.
Talk to Steve over there. Citizen Steve. Tell him to get to work. What are we paying him for?
I know.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, click on the next video here or here, wherever.
You'll find it.
You'll find it. You're smart people. Thanks for watching.
For those who are still serving, have a safe tour duty.
Make a difference in someone's life. Stay classy, Las Vegas.
Always. Boop.